It's mailbag time here on the show. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Get your questions in by using hashtag Bears or super chatting, and the time is now if you want to get on today's mailbag. You can also tweet at me at HGrahamNFL if you want to be a part of more questions in the future. I can't get to them all on our video, but hopefully I'll get to as many as we can. Producer Jack trying to load them up. Do you think the Bears should get Gareon Conley from Howard? Not sure what the rest of that sentence is, Howard. Or Jimmy Moreland. You can go ahead and push that across, producer Jack. Sure. Yes, I would love Moreland, especially. He could be your nickelback immediately. Marquis Christian is an absolute scrub. The Bears need a corner. There's no doubt. I don't care who it is. Marquis Christian can't play at nickel. I think that you have to do something in your secondary to get better. So Conley, Moreland, try him out. Let's get after it. Alan Mack, if the D has another bad game, would that be the biggest worry? I think it's fair to say. I'm more concerned about the defense coming out of the first game. I really am. Hopefully that changes. Hopefully that they start playing better. But, yeah, I mean, if you get torched by Cincinnati at home, and Cincinnati's capable, by the way, then I think you're officially concerned about the defense at that point. Billy Bob Johnson, who gets fired first, Matt Nagy or Ryan Pace? Gosh. I would want to say both. I don't think it makes sense to keep one without the other, which I actually think if you kept one without the other, it'd be keeping Nagy and not Pace. But if I had to guess, it would actually be the opposite. The McCaskies love Ryan Pace. They really do, for whatever reason. So if I had to guess, I would say Matt Nagy. But I think it would probably be more likely that both would go together. But who knows? If you fire Nagy midseason and then Pace is still around, maybe things could change. We'll see what happens. I don't know if either are on the hot seat yet. It's a little early this season for that. But if you had to pick one, I would guess Matt Nagy, but I don't really know either way. Pick one that has to go. If you had to pick one to get rid of and keep the other, who you booting? Type MN for Matt Nagy, type RP for Ryan Pace. I would boot Ryan Pace if I had to pick one, but I think a lot of you guys are going to pick Matt Nagy. So get your votes in. MN for Matt Nagy, RP for Ryan Pace. We got a super chat from Chris. Appreciate it. What cornerbacks are available to help the Bears? Jimmy Moreland. You've got Richard Sherman. I think Conley's still available. Some of the names the other guy mentioned a second ago. It's thin pickings. You could get active on the trade market, but there's not a ton of guys out there. There are a few names, but it's somewhat limited once you get into the season like this. Alan Melendez, with 5 tight ends on the active roster, why don't the Bears focus on more 12 personnel and running more with Monty and Williams? Yeah, I was surprised to see Jimmy Graham only play like 15 snaps, considering you could have caught him and saved $7 million, but the Bears didn't do that. But at the same time, Jimmy Graham doesn't really block. So if you're going to play 2 tight end sets, you might as well play Jesse James or Jesper Horsted, who can block a little better. So you could see some of that. I do like 12 personnel and throwing out of it, Kmet and Graham on the field at the same time. But we didn't see a lot of that, which was a bit surprising, Alan. Daniel O'Brien, should I pick up Andy Dalton for my fantasy league? No. Do not get Andy Dalton. Now, you should pick up Justin Fields and just stash him for once he takes over, because I think he could put up huge fantasy numbers with his running ability. But I would not pick up Andy Dalton. Lucas, what could we do to get upgrades this offseason at corner? Also, Borum looked good at left tackle. Yeah, him and Peters were both good at left tackle. The offensive line overall held its own against the Rams. Now, it was a quick passing attack, so the Bears didn't have any long, drawn-out pass plays, so I think it was maybe a little bit skewed. But I think overall I was pretty pleased. I thought the guards held up on Aaron Donald as good as they could. I mean, you got to be active in free agency and in the draft at corner. Obviously, you don't have a first-round pick. I'd have to look at the free agent corners after this year, Lucas, but that is obviously going to be a point of emphasis. Josh Lang, is Matt Nagy going to get fired midway through the season and win? A lot of Nagy hot seat stuff right now. Obviously, I just did that hot seat rumors video. Go check it out if you haven't already. If he does, it's going to be probably like after the bye week. It's not going to be early in the season. And it would have to be really bad. Like this team would have to be like 2-8, 2-9, 0-10, dare I say. I don't think they'll be that bad, but that would be the only way. Mark Sarukanian. Okay. Explain the head scratcher 4th and 15. Go for it. I think that's Nagy saying, look, we're down 13 in the fourth quarter. A field goal still keeps it a 2-score game. I probably would have kicked it. A spot in that game that was sneaky underrated that really hurt the Bears was on 2nd and 25. Cole Kmet dropped a pass that would have been for about 12 yards. On 3rd down, he caught a 10-yard pass to get it to 4th and 15. If he catches the first one, you get the second one. It's like 4th and 3 or 4. That was a huge moment. I think Nagy said, look, we're still down 2 scores. 4th and 15 is low percentage, but I don't trust our defense to get multiple stops, which is what it would have taken. He probably thought they could get 1 in the fourth quarter, but not multiple, and it would have taken at least 2 more stops because the Bears still would have been down 10 points had Cairo Santos made a field goal. Should Justin Fields start in week 2? What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Game is Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central Time. Should you go ahead and start the rookie? Be honest, get your votes in, Y for yes or N for no. NRZ33, what's our record going to be? I've been around the 9-8 spot coming into the season. I'll stick with that 7-10 win range. If I had to guess, I'd lean more 7 right now because I'm worried about the defense. But it's early. I'm still optimistic. Ask me after the Bengals game. How about that? You lose to Cincinnati, that really changes things for me. Cabin Rudd, what does Montgomery, or who does he remind you of? Oh, gosh. Honestly, he's similar to Nick Chubb. Big physical bruising back that breaks tackles. I'm trying to think of older guys. Kind of like he's similar to Forte as well. He can catch the ball. I think he's a better downhill runner than Matt Forte, but I think there's some similarities there. Other Bears, maybe a little atomic. He's a more explosive Cedric Benson. He really is. He's a little faster, and he can catch the ball much better. So I think that's a name that Monty is similar of, where Benson wasn't the fastest guy, but he could break tackles. I like that comp. I think that those are a few Bears names that Monty reminds me, and probably a lot of you guys of as well. Now, BetUS is the best sportsbook partner in the games. They've partnered up with us for the 2021 NFL season, and there is money to be made all year long. I crushed it this past week in college football. Made a little bit of money in the NFL as well. I actually bet the Rams over the Bears, and that felt bad that they lost, but I made some money. Chatsports.com/Bears. That is the link to go, and you have to use that link to get a 125% deposit bonus with promo code BEARDOWN, all one word, BEARDOWN. If you want to go bet on this Week 2 matchup, the Bears are 3-point favorites. The over-under is set at 45 points between the two teams. Ironically, my score prediction was 24-21, which is exactly on the point spread and exactly on the over-under, so I might stay away from this game, but if you're feeling great, one way or the other, chatsports.com/Bears. Got to use that link and then use promo code BEARDOWN, all one word. And if you bet on this game or any other game, if you're a new BetUS customer, by using those links, like I said, we will hook you guys up with a brand new jersey. All you got to do, email us, jersey@chatsports.com. Just make the subject line BetUS Bears jersey deal or something like that. We'll confirm that you got signed up with our URL, which again is chatsports.com/Bears, and with the promo code BEARDOWN. Once we confirm that, we will get your jersey size, your address, and we will ship you a brand new Bears jersey. Get one right now. You can get this going today. Jersey@chatsports.com. Email us after you guys get going with BetUS. Devay Dolly, how many seasons does Ryan Pace need to show us? He's not the guy. Asked us about Nagy in our other mailbag. Now he's asking us about Pace. I mean, I'm with you. I said he should have been fired after last year. I gave him credit for a good draft, for being aggressive and getting Justin Fields. That will pay dividends. But Ryan Pace has made more big mistakes than good things, if that makes sense. So I'm with you. I don't think he's that good. He's done some good things, but he's made a lot of big errors. Nick Gonzalez, after seeing all the other teams week 1, has your final record changed at all? I had 9-8. I'd probably lean more towards 7 or 8 wins at this point. I want to see them play at home against Cincinnati. I'm not going to panic after one game. I had the Bears losing to the Rams anyway, so nothing has changed on that front. I'm more concerned about how the secondary played. If the secondary is going to be that bad, I knew it would struggle, but that was bad. That could really impact how many games this team could win. NRZ33, with the Packers getting waxed, who wins the North? I'd still pick the Packers. We have this question, by the way, and we can ask you guys, who do you guys think will win the NFC North? I'll still, until someone beats the Packers and wins this division, which, by the way, the Packers are still in first place, as all four teams are. They're all 0-1. I'm going to type my GB, but if you think it's the Bears, type CHI. If you think it's the Lions, type DET. If you think it's the Vikings, type MIN. I just trust Aaron Rodgers to play better, so I'm going to go with them. But it does provide hope that maybe, just maybe, the Packers fall off at least somewhat of a cliff this year. Got time for a few more questions. Ben C., do you think the Bears get Thomas Graham from the practice squad? I would bring him up, man. You cannot tell me that Marquise Christian is better than Thomas Graham. I just refuse to believe it. And if he is, then Thomas Graham sucks. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So Christian's not a starting nickelback in this league. I'm not saying he doesn't have value on a squad, but he's just not a starter. He just absolutely is not a starting corner or safety or nickel in the National Football League. I don't know if Thomas Graham is, but maybe he has a chance to be. Who's your favorite Bears player? Current, all-time, I don't care. I want to hear it from you guys. Your favorite Bears player ever. Let's hear it. Favorite Bears player, whether it's current or former. Get your votes in. I hope we get some good names on this one. Bob Toller, what do we do if the defense sucks this week? I think you can, let's say Cincinnati scores 30-plus on you at Soldier Field. You can hit the panic button. Seriously. You have to make a change at quarterback if that happens. Because, again, if Andy Dalton is your starting quarterback, you have to have a good defense and you have to be able to play ball control. If you're giving up big plays drive after drive and a lot of touchdowns, you can't win with Dalton. So you have to make a change with Fields and hope you adjust defensively. But, yeah, I want to see them play this week and see if Sean Desai can make adjustments. But that wasn't a very good showing in week one. All right, last one here. AS Productions, what do you think about our wide receiver core after this year? You have Darnell Mooney, who's a nice player. After that, you don't have anything. So I'm going to type my I for incomplete. I still want Allen Robinson back, but I don't know if that's going to happen. You definitely have to make some decisions there at wide receiver.